time of year that it's a religious holiday. It's a secular holiday. And to some extent, it's a pagan holiday. We've got, parts of our worship tradition takes advantage of pagan thoughts and actions. And it's a really strange holiday because, and out of all of these traditions, and out of all of these things, there's a certain expectation of things that we are supposed to do. We put pressure on ourselves. We want to go visit friends. We want to visit people we haven't seen. We want to go to dinner parties. We want to buy that perfect gift. We want to go worship as many times as we can with, all the things that are going on in church. And we want to do so many things that we can't sometimes do them all. But for most of us, all of these things, all these decorations, and all of the things that we do are special. And we enjoy this time. We look forward to it. And we may be tired when it's over, but we cherish it. And we look forward to so many wonderful, wonderful aspects of those traditions. We like to shop. How many like to shop? Now, I don't know if you like to go to the mall, but maybe you like to shop. And how many like to go out for dinner? Everybody likes to go out for dinner. So see, we honor these things in our lives, but not everybody finds joy in those. There are people in our communities right now around each one of, we may have a neighbor. We may know someone right here in this congregation. Maybe we ourselves are struggling with this whole notion of finding joy. Maybe we've lost someone very dear to us. And we just can't find joy because everything that we do reminds us of that person, that partner, that child, that friend. Or maybe we go, we've lost a job. And we're struggling with income and we're wondering how we're going to feed our family, and the idea of one more advertisement. Going to the mall and seeing people with a full cart. And we're wondering how we're even going to pay the heat bill. Affects us. Maybe we've lost a beloved pet. Maybe we're going through a divorce. All of those things trigger within us a deep sense of sorrow and pain. And that pain becomes overwhelming. We feel like maybe we're all alone and we're in a desert. And we feel the need to cry. Or the thought of that one more Christmas Carol on TV, you're going to pull out your hair. You just don't feel like celebrating. There's a lot of people like that. In fact, Wednesday night, here at the church, we're having a service of solace, specifically for those people. Because we understand how difficult that is, and how painful that experience can be. But we have an advantage. I don't know how people without any faith in their lives deal with this, because even with people who have a sense of deep faith, this can be a struggle. This whole notion of overcoming. Our society tells us, it's Christmas time, it'll be over soon, put on a happy face. But that's not fair. That doesn't do justice to that deep pain that we're feeling, the deep sorrow that we're struggling with. And it's impossible to just put on a happy face. But we have an advantage as people of faith. Because we have a God of abundance who loves us and who honors us and who to our prayers and listens to the sorrows that we feel. And in that deep grace, we can find comfort. And when you heard these three scripture passages today, they give us an idea about that abundant love of God. And there's a lot of different versions of the scripture passages that you heard. And the scripture passage from Psalms is interpreted two ways. You heard the grieving version today, where the writer of the psalm is talking about God bringing him comfort over a death. But there's another tradition that also looks at this as a healing. That he's praising God for God bringing him healing. And we don't know in that particular tradition healing from what. But in this one we know that he's helping him overcome his deep and sorrow over the loss of something that's very dear, the loss of someone special. And in that we find our own thoughts. Because if we give thanks to God for those things in our lives, it changes our focus. It changes how we look at the problems that we're facing every single day. Doesn't mean that we're no less concerned about that pain that we're feeling or that suffering, but it means that we understand that loss, but we look at it differently. In fact, I don't know how many of you read Carolyn's comment, the advice column in the Daily Sentinel, but yesterday she was responding to a young woman who had a very difficult Thanksgiving and was dealing with a dysfunctional family and some problems with her fiance. And she told this young woman, you have choices. You need to talk to your boyfriend and let him know that you were hurt. And then ask him to include you in the future in his Thanksgiving plans, that you want to meet his mother. Ask for what you want. And don't keep doing the same things with your family when that's hurting you. Do different things. Look at this a different way. And then the last thing that she said was focus on what you have, not what you don't have, because it gives you strength and hope and peace to look forward to in the future. And that's what we need to do, is to be thankful and take that joy that we find in the things that we do have and take it forward into the things that we need to work on, or the pain that we're feeling. When you heard this beautiful passage from Isaiah about the deserts blooming, when you're depressed and you're sad and you're hurting, don't you sometimes feel like you're in the desert? Or on a desert island? Don't you feel like you're alone and there's nothing else out there? And what a beautiful metaphor for that unexpected miracle that comes to our lives. That crocus blooming in the desert.